Good morning, everyone. Let me get all set up. There will be no walk and talk here today. No walk and talk because it is cold and rainy outside, and I don't feel like getting wet. Good morning, Glory. Good morning. Yeah, Glory does like when I decide to stay in. She does not like the cold. This dog, she is a princess. So, yeah, I'm Daddy's princess, and I don't like the cold. Yeah. You don't like the cold, you don't like car rides, but she loves hotels, and you love big fluffy beds and pillows because she will, when we come home from work and I take her vest off and she knows she's not working anymore, she'll jump right up on the bed and she burrows into my pillows. She'll like move them around. So then she's like on the bed in the middle of all the pillows. It's funny. Yeah, aren't you? Oh, I know. I know. Good girl. So, yeah, there'll be no walk and talk this morning. Just a little bit cold. Sucks I gotta go out into the cold anyway in a little bit, but I'm not gonna be doing my walk this morning. Maybe later. But I also, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll not be seeing any tweets out of me today. They said that one of my tweets broke the rules. I'm appealing because all it was a picture. Um, I don't post nasty pictures. So yeah, it's on appeal. So no Twitter from me today. That's why uh for those of you in the stream who are watching on Facebook, it's because I couldn't stream to Twitter this morning. So whatever is what it is. But yeah, I had some people reach out to me last night. I did drop my complaint. If you saw my complaint to the about the judge on that case in Florida, um, I did. I did drop my complaint in the mail, so it is on its way. Um, there's a hearing on Wednesday, and then another hearing scheduled Friday. It would be my hope that that judge recuses himself before my letter gets there. Recuses or disqualifies himself. I don't know if he will. We'll see. But you know, I will keep fighting corruption. And that's one good thing I really love about YouTube. YouTube's got a lot of problems. Okay, YouTube's it's the biggest social media site in the world, and YouTube has a lot of issues. But I love YouTube because so many of us are able to come together and highlight problems in our world. Um, and it gives us that platform, and for the most part it's an unedited platform. When people do lives or when people post their videos, yeah, you'll get some who edit stuff, and when they do, most times it's they're taking out the fluff or trimming the fat, but you get to see it. You get to see the corruption. um this week I had a candidate that I traded some emails with. um I'm inviting that candidate onto the show. They are running for election locally for a judge position. And I started talking about some of the things that happened to me. Like you will see the video if you look in my video that I did about the hate mail just a couple days ago. There's a video linked in there where I get attacked over this little girl right here. And I said, uh, to this candidate, I sent the video and I said, is it open season on people here? Because I was attacked on a live stream, everyone could see it, and no one got arrested. But they also decided not to prosecute the people, um, and the first attack that I had. There's another one that's pending that you all will eventually see. But is it open season on people in this county? That was my question. Um, the problem is, you know, the video is an objective witness. It can't lie. The camera cannot lie. So what's on my head? No hair. That's the only thing. Talking about my hoodie. I might have a couple. I might be bleeding because my cat likes to wake me up in the morning. But he sits on my headboard and reaches down with his claws and taps on my head. He doesn't mean to do it, but he has caught my head a couple times. But yeah, the camera is an objective witness. So if you watch the video of when people, um, when they've attacked me physically, you can see it. You can see that I'm sitting there. I'm not being violent. I am just, I'm just, sitting there, just living my life. And it's never okay for people to put hands on you. And I don't get that people in this in today's society, it's like they forgot what we learned in kindergarten: keep your hands to yourself. So, if this candidate comes on, we will discuss. And I told this candidate, this will not be an easy interview. I will. Hey, good morning, Johnny. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Thompson, realtor extraordinaire. I have this place because of Johnny. So if you need a realtor and you're in Southern California, reach out to him. Uh, Great guy. But yeah, so I told this candidate that I will absolutely bring the candidate on, talk to him, and if we do that, it's not going to be an easy interview. I am going to go at them hard about the problems in this county. Um, and as a candidate for office, you should be prepared for that. And I would want it if I were a candidate. I would want people to come at me hard because you want to be able to show that you can answer questions, that you can be the one to make the tough choices. So we'll see. We'll see if they come on, but be ready for that interview. I've got uh thank you, Johnny. Yeah, you're a great guy. I'm very jealous of what you do. You have a very good job. He's also a Marine, ladies and gentlemen. Uh so yeah, the too early. It is too early. That's why I got my coffee. But I still have the rest of the interview with United Warrior Alliance. So shout out to him. Um, I'm editing that one because we had some technical issues. So I started on it. I was doing taxes yesterday, so I didn't get finished with it. But that will be going out. We're also trying to build his platform too. He's right now very big on Instagram. So if you check out that, follow him on Instagram. He's a veteran. Um, he's a Marine with a really interesting story. Uh, he was discharged because of adultery, which really wasn't adultery. So he's still fighting that, but after he got out, he was one of these guys who was arrested by the ATF for the short barreled rifle, the pistol grip, which that's right now being challenged in, I believe, the Fifth Circuit Court has ruled. So it's right now looking for cert to the Supreme Court. So he's one of those guys affected by that. He did 19 months in a federal penitentiary for having a pistol grip on on uh, uh, essentially a short barreled rifle. And, that was never a law passed by Congress. It was the ATF taking a current law and deciding to interpret it differently. And that's why, what was it, 4 years ago, all of a sudden, all these people who were legally carrying. One day the government just decides, nope, it's illegal. Um, Unfortunately, people think that video evidence is enough. Show the truth. Insane. Think you can edit them. Also, AI capabilities. Uh, True, but there are ways to check to see if a video is edited. Um, but yeah, the people who are saying that stuff are the people who have very little uh, kilobyte video plus witnesses. Yeah, absolutely, I agree. The people who say that stuff about, oh, that video is edited or you used AI, generally are not the people who know how that stuff works. Uh, so yeah, and you get people who'll say this stuff. I thank them for their comments because every comment, every like that you all leave absolutely helps me get in front of more people. Um, so, and speaking of which, for the veterans out there, I do want to highlight a veterans channel that you should go check out. I saw you just put out another video, Combat Craig. He helps with VA disabilities and VA claims, so check him out if you're a veteran. But yeah, uh, there are people who will say that, yeah, your video is edited. I've come across that quite a bit. Enlisted aren't smart enough for AI. Actually, you know what? AI is getting so user friendly. It is scary. I've got a friend who is very big into AI, and I've had the Chat GPT app on my phone for over a year now because he was like, "Dude, you got to get this thing." He's like, "You got to start." And I played around with it, and it's a little bit fun. It can be a really good tool. Um, it can also be abused. I just had fun with it. Apparently, the Google one is super racist towards white people, which I think is hilarious. They whenever they do these things, they always want to change them. I'm like, no, leave it alone. I want to see it. Like, I think we should have a racist AI. Just hates everybody. Just for the comedic value, I would be like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And it insults me for being Irish. I, you know, I don't get mad about stuff like that. I, I laugh at the absurdity. Yeah, Gemini. Yeah, that's the name. Gemini AI. It's racist. uh, Too funny. Uh, but yeah, that's and like you saw with I don't know if you all were following the Taylor Swift fakes, the AI fakes. Those were all clearly faked images, and that's why I laugh about social media taking them down. I've got a whole file folder of them. Whenever people were sending to me, I'm like, "This is hilarious," and I saved them all. Whenever the fact that they were taking them all down, it's like so many of them were clearly over the top, like the Taylor Swift Fight Club ones, where she's in oh, thank you, Ivy, love you. Where she's in a tank top and she's getting she's getting punched like she's in Fight Club. That was hilarious. How can you not find that funny? Taylor Swift in a garage or basement knuckle fist fight. Oh my god, that stuff was funny to me. So I don't get why people just they freak out about things. They all have their golden calves. They don't want, this is sacred. You can't do this. To me, everybody deserves to be made fun of because we're all crazy in some sense. Me especially. I've got my I've got my diagnosis. Kind of goes back to that, and I truly believe this. The people who tell you they don't need therapy are the ones who need therapy the most because they have zero self-realization. They're the ones who think what they're doing is absolutely fine. Now, with my therapist, because I've been so far along with my therapy, we talk about, like, I'll be like, I did this or I think this. Am I wrong? So I'm bouncing it off my therapist. Then we talk about, well, why do you think that way? And, you know, it becomes very helpful. For those of you who were following me on Twitter, because, for those of you who joined late, I am suspended on Twitter again for not breaking the rules, I posted a photo. What was funny is I posted about buying a house. I just bought a house, and people were talking about how unaffordable it is to buy a house, and I was like, "There's plenty of starter homes out there. Like, if you are if you want everything, so it's kind of like that whole matrix of you can have it good, cheap, or quality. You can't pick uh or well, fast, cheap, and quality. You can't have all three. You got to pick two. It's kind of the same thing with houses. You can get it quickly. You can get it cheap. Yep, Johnny. I'm in I'm in Twitter jail. Which even with it being a thing, I'm trying not to lose this account. I'm now over 2,100 followers. This is the biggest Twitter account I've ever had. So, and like all these people were coming at me because I said, look, there's plenty of starter homes. My parents lived in a trailer first. This home is modular. So if you're willing to say, I don't have to be in a McMansion, I don't have to be in the world's safest neighborhood, I can deal with a longer commute. If you're willing to go with those things, there's absolutely affordable homes, but you should buy a home, fix it up, upgrade, fix it up a little bit, sell it, and upgrade. That is the tried and true method of home buying. And I'm glad we have Johnny in here because he's on Facebook. You all are seeing his comments if you're on YouTube because I'm putting them up there. Uh, he's a realtor. He'll tell you that there's so many ways to make money through real estate that people who tell you that it's too unaffordable, they're just not thinking. They want to do things the way that their grandparents did, which is an old and outdated model. That was the industrial age model of real estate and home buying. Do we do anything else other than our schools? Our schools are still industrial age. We still have bells. Um, but yeah, if we remove the industrial age model from stuff, people would find, oh, there is ways to be happier. I did want to talk about schools a little bit. Um, I think schools should stop employing janitors. I think there should be a day in school where all the kids should be the janitors themselves and clean up. Okay. Everybody wants to try to keep up with the Joneses. Yep, absolutely. Instead of buying what they need at the current time. Absolutely, absolutely. Like me buying this house, I have a business plan for this house. You know, no one's thinking about that next step. I'm trying to think 2 and 3 steps ahead. For those of you who were not in the military, we call it the OODA loop. And I'm gonna get really nerdy and officery here, but OODA stands for orient, decide, um, um, or no, orient, observe, decide, and act. And that's the process of decision making right there. You'll orient yourself to where you are, you'll observe what's happening, you'll make a decision, then you follow through with it. That's the OODA loop. And the faster someone's OODA loop is, the more successful that they're going to buy. When I was in school, we had Saturday school for detention. That was the way the school got free child labor. No, I agree with that. I Here's the thing though. I think all the kids should have to clean. Every single kid should have to clean the school. They do it in Japan, and it's very humbling. That's the problem with a lot of the younger kids today. Is there's nothing to humble them. We've and I'm all about people's rights, and we teach people their rights. But some people think they have a right to not improve their area around them. That's one thing in the military. We do a very good job. I don't care. Me as a captain, I cleaned stuff. If the mission called for it, guess what? Every Marine is a janitor. I know we say every Marine's a rifleman, but every Marine is a trained janitor, and that's absolutely true. And you will go through and clean at some point, and I think we should do that in our schools. I think it will definitely humble students. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read, write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Dude, that is, I I am gonna save that quote because that is absolutely true. Dude, you need to put that up on your YouTube channel, because that is absolutely true. Uh, just just to acknowledge that you might be wrong, you might need to unlearn something or learn a new way of doing it. Absolutely. Don't forget the skills of how you learned it, because things come back around. But yeah, absolutely. I'm never not humble to where I don't think I'm always right. I always question myself. And if I become feckless in any way, it's because I'm holding myself back because oh, you don't don't have a YouTube page. I'm sorry, I thought you had a YouTube page. Uh well, that's absolutely some wisdom that you have there, and it's tried and true. Um but yeah, like if I'm feckless, it's because I'm stalling in my decision making because I think I'm right, but I'll be like, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong, and I understand that's a problem with myself. And this is why therapy was great for me because it started making me be the person I really wanted to be, and also made me acknowledge that, like me doing this on the channel, you're seeing me. If we had a conversation, this is exactly what you're seeing, and you know long time ago I decided I was not going to be anyone other than what I was. And in the military, I had many people try to tell me that I should be more of a dictator, more of a disciplinarian type of leader. Wasn't me. I was this type of leader. I'd much rather sit someone down and talk to them. Um, I never changed my leadership style for anybody. You should never change your leadership style. Do what works for you, and be true to yourself, and you'll never regret anything. Did I make every decision the best? No, no, I can say that, but I made every decision right for me. When I was getting divorced, I had people who told me, "You should do this or you should do this," and I thank them. I totally thank them for their advice, even the advice I did not use, because you have to hear some of that stuff, but you have to act what's right for you. As I always used to say, I have to be okay with the person I'm looking at in the mirror every single day. And I am very happy with the way I did things because I can do that. And I'm now doing that in my business life, doing this. I had the network that started me on this show, NRN, when they approached me, they wanted a vet bro show. They wanted me to do motorcycles, guns, tattoos. That's not me. And I said, no, I'm not going to do it. And I kept saying no. And I actually want to do a comedy show, and they wouldn't let me do it. I want to do I told them I want to do Saturday Night Live's Weekend Update, but for your network, and they didn't want me to do it. They were like, no, we. And I get it. My humor. I'm suspended on Twitter right now. My humor is a little bit risque. Uh, they were like, "Yeah, we don't want to take any chances with that." And I said, "That's fair." So they said, "What will it take for you to do a show?" And I said, "I'll do it if I can help people. If it's a show to help people, I'll do it." And the reason I said that is because this show is not about me. Channel is not about me. It's about if I help one person, I'm perfectly fine. I don't need a million followers. I've got over 1,000 followers now, and I'm incredibly happy for it. I if my channel grew no more here on out, I'd be ecstatic. But that's why, because it's all about helping. I'll do the tattoo show. I just need a tattoo donation. I can get you a tattoo donation down here, but you're up there. You're up in Northern California. I can get you a tattoo donation down here, and we could probably do it as a collab, but you'd have to come down here. Because there's so many tattoo parlors here. That's I always end up there's so many barbers and tattoo parlors. I can't use either of them. I'm just not a tattoo guy. It's I got one. It's fine. And I was like, okay, that's it. I got it. I did it. It's kind of that, don't knock it till you try it. But yeah, um, Now, I am trying to go to the Laughlin River Run. That's a big biker event. I am trying to get out there because there's a lot of veterans out there. There's one thing I got to set up before I get out there, and I've got some people working on it, trying to help me. It's funny. It's all because of the nonprofit and the rules about nonprofit in California, Nevada, and all that stuff. So if we can find a way to do it, I will be out there. Because I do know, I acknowledge there are veterans who like that stuff. I thought about doing a contest of tattoos in the wild. Find You can't submit your own tattoo, but if you're out in town, if you find a really bad tattoo and take a picture and tag me in it, and you're okay with me putting the image out there. If you have a sidecar, I'll roll with you. That's when I might actually get when I would get a motorcycle, is if I had a sidecar. That way, Glory could go with me. But yeah, I thought about tattoos in the wild contest. The worst tattoo that you find just out walking around, and then do it for a prize. So let me know if you think that would be a good contest. Maybe I could do like a Veteran Nation hoodie or something. We'll have to You'll have to help me flush that idea out, because I would need, like, you would need to at me or hashtag or something, just so we can get it across to all social media. But I think that would be funny. Do like, yeah, Friday tat. Maybe I'll do that like once a month, unless if you have a better contest idea. But it's almost 7:15. I am gonna have to wrap this up. I do thank you all for joining me. Like I said, no walk and talk today because it's raining and cold, and I'm enjoying my warm coffee in my warm house a little bit too much. So, um, I do have t-shirts out. So check. I just did a short. Uh, I have a Camp Lejeune Stay Hydrated shirt. I've got a 29 Palm shirt, and I got a Fort Polk shirt. So send me the bases that you were at, because I'm gonna do more shirts. Really, what I'm doing is I'm tagging all the bases and whatnot with the shirt with something that someone, a veteran or military member, said about the base, and I'm trying to use actual quotes because they're hilarious. Uh, so that's what I'm doing. And if you buy one of those shirts, I'm keeping them at $15. A portion of that comes back to our nonprofit. So the one I highlighted today was Camp Lejeune, stay hydrated. And if you know about the Camp Lejeune water, that one's funny. So thank you for joining me. I will be around. I'll be if I don't do my walk later, I'll probably do one tomorrow. And yeah, as always, thank you for being worth serving.